Here's a quick guide on how to navigate the Oakhouse website to quickly find the ideal sharehouse for you in Japan. I've personally done this process 3 different times in 3 different sharehouses. I'm actually in an Oakhouse Sharehouse right now. And I've learned a lot about the process that can seem confusing at first. That's why in this video, I'm gonna guide you through it so you don't go through the same confusion. Let's get started. Firstly, on their website, click on Find a Room. And instead of just selecting the area you're planning on living in, go to Sharehouse first, and then select the area afterwards. Let's select Tokyo. From there, you'll see a map with lots of red dots pop up. Zoom in a bit and you can get an idea of the price of the sharehouse. On the right side, if you scroll past the promoted stuff and hover over the sharehouse choices, the dot or bubble on the map turns black, so you can get an idea of where that sharehouse is located. You can also just click on the dots themselves to see a preview of the house. But before we proceed, it's important to use filters, starting with move-in date. Let's select next month and months onward, since hopefully you're doing this a bit ahead of time. But no worries if you're not, it's actually possible to book a share house rather quickly. I've done it around 2 to 3 weeks in advance before. But just by applying this filter alone, a lot of the options disappear, so you choose from actually possible sharehouses that you can move into, and you don't waste time on the ones you can't move into, even if they do look super cool. If you're struggling to find a share house because of low availability, apartments are also a good option. But for this video, let's stick with share houses. Here's where we get to a big mistake that I used to make while looking for share houses. Back then, I looked at share houses based on the photos and recommendations from the website and found some really cool ones, but became extremely disappointed when I discovered it was far from central Tokyo. So to not make that mistake, location should be one of the first things you look at when choosing a share house. This is especially important if you're going to language school. When clicking on any share house, look at the menu options, click on map, and then when you see the map, you can click on it, and that opens up Google Maps. From there, type in a destination you will be going to often to see if it's a reasonable distance for you. Luckily, the trains in Tokyo are extremely well designed, so most of the locations will probably be within an hour or so. An extra tip is to choose a place with fewer train line transfers to get to your destination. Or you can also look at how long it takes to get to your destination based on one train line. It just makes the commute significantly more comfortable in my opinion. Anyways, let's get into an example of the details I personally look for in a good share house. Firstly, looking at the photos is cool, but keep in mind that a lot of these photos are taken with wide-angle lenses, so things will look way more spacious than they actually are in the photos. I suggest you try to pay attention to the numbers instead. Okay, let's look at this social residence in Yokohama as an example. By the way, I've stayed in 2 social residences and they're pretty nice. This one in particular actually looks extremely nice. But the first step is to take a look at the map. So let's go ahead and get there and type in Shinjuku Station, and let's see how long it takes. About 1 hour and 20 minutes-ish. Pretty long. So even though it looks cool, probably not the best option unless you're planning on staying near Yokohama and not going to the central Tokyo areas very much. I personally like social residences, even though they tend to be farther from the center of Tokyo, which is unfortunate. Let's check out a different share house. In fact, let's actually look at my old share house, one that I've stayed in before. At the current moment, there's no room availability, but if there was, it would just look like this, where you see the numbers of rooms available. A trick to see how many people live in the place really easily if you don't want to read everything is to just remove the vacancy filter to see the amount of rooms. And that increases the chances the restrooms and showers not being the most clean. Although I've experienced dirtiness in small share houses as well, it really depends on the people. However, you can also look up how often staff cleans by searching for the word clean. Anyways, here's my old room. You can see how much rent is, and if it's fine for you, you can look at the photos. For this room, it's pretty generic, but I enjoyed it overall. I also recommend looking at the floor plan or diagram just to see how close the room is to restrooms and the showers, because for me, I had to walk quite a long way just to wash my hands or brush my teeth. I did get used to it, but at first it was pretty annoying. Also, be aware of how close you are to noise. The 3rd floor will likely be more silent compared to the 2nd floor, since when I lived in the 2nd floor, I could sometimes hear some people in the living room because I was right above it. Now let's skip to the step where you found a room you like and you want to book it. It's actually a little confusing on how to do that, but the easiest way that I've done it is by hitting inquiries, then scheduling an online preview of the room, and after that, you will get a message from Oakhouse that you can reply to. You might need to create an account first. So after you get a reply from them, you can request immediately that you'd like to reserve the room. And from there, you can just cancel your online viewing appointment if you don't need it anymore. After you go through some payment stuff, which is pretty simple with Oakhouse if you have a credit card with no foreign transaction fees. If you don't have one, I highly recommend one, and I'll leave a link to the one that I personally use down below. Be aware that you will need to start paying 10 days after the room becomes vacant. So if the previous tenant leaves on January 1st, you need to start paying on January 11th, even if you don't move in yet. The exception is if you're a language school student, where it gets extended to 1 month instead of just 10 days. You may also get a student discount for rent depending on the share house you choose. Some have it, some don't. Search student to quickly find out. And also make sure to tell them that you are a student if you're booking the share house on your own without the help of, let's say, Gogo Nihon. Another way to get a discount off your first month of rent is through some promotions as well. I have a link down below in the description that can get you 5,000 yen off if you choose to use it. It would also help me out too if you choose to use it, so thank you very much. And from there, as long as the payment goes through, you'll schedule an appointment with staff in person for them to greet you at the house and show you your room when you move in. So that's my guide on how to find a good share house from Oakhouse. It's not a hard process, but it can be confusing, especially if it's your first time navigating the website. So I hope this video can help you guys out. And if you have any more questions, feel free to leave it down below and I'll try my best to answer them. Also, if you're looking for the fastest way to learn the most frequently used Japanese while traveling or living in Japan, the audiobook I created with my native Japanese friends can help you with that. I'll leave a link down below that can get you the book for free if you're new to Audible.